You've deleted thousands of photos from your phone, maybe tens of thousands. You select them, hit that trash icon, confirm the deletion, and boom, they're gone. Your storage space goes up. Your photo library looks cleaner. You feel organized. But here's what nobody tells you about that delete button. It's lying to you. Those photos aren't actually gone, not even close. And what your phone is really doing when you think you're deleting something, it's way weirder than you imagine. In the next 15 minutes, you're gonna understand why deletion is basically an illusion. And once you see what's actually happening inside your device, you'll never trust that delete button again. Here's what's really happening every time you delete a photo. Picture this scenario. You're scrolling through your iPhone, cleaning up after a weekend trip to Vegas. There are 300 photos. Most of them are blurry, duplicates, or just bad. So you start selecting and deleting. Tap, tap, delete. Tap, tap, delete. You watch your storage climb from 2 gigabytes available to 20 gigabytes available. Feels good, right? Feels like you actually freed up space. But that's not what actually happens. Your phone didn't delete those photos. It just stopped showing them to you. They're still there, every single one of them. Sitting in your storage, taking up the exact same amount of space they did before. Your phone just moved them to a different folder and started a 30-day timer. And during those 30 days, if someone gets your phone, they can see every photo you just deleted. They're not gone. They're hidden. Everyone tells you that deleting files removes them from your device. That's what the word delete means, right? Remove, erase, make it disappear. But tech companies redefine the word without telling anyone. When Apple or Google or Samsung says delete, they mean hide for a month, then maybe actually delete, but also keep multiple backup copies in 5 different places that we won't tell you about. Same word, completely different meaning. And this matters because your deleted photos aren't just on your phone, they're on your computer if you sync with iCloud or Google Photos. They're on Apple's servers or Google's servers. They're in your backup files. They might be on your old phone that's sitting in a drawer. They could be on your tablet. And deleting them from your phone doesn't delete them from any of those other places. You think you deleted 1 photo. You actually need to delete 7 copies of that photo from 7 different locations. And most people never do. This isn't just about storage space or staying organized. It's about control. You think you're in control of what's on your device. You think delete means delete, but you're not in control. And delete doesn't mean delete. Your phone is making decisions about what to keep, what to hide, and what to actually remove. And you're not part of that decision-making process. You're just pressing buttons and hoping the outcome matches what you expect. So let me break down what's really happening here. And I'm going to show you why the entire concept of deletion on modern devices is completely backwards. Here's what I call the illusion of removal. When you delete something on your computer or phone, the operating system doesn't actually delete the file. It deletes the pointer to the file. Think of it like this. Your storage is a massive library with millions of books. When you save a photo, the system puts that photo somewhere in the library and writes down the location in a card catalog. When you open the photo, the system looks up the location in the card catalog and goes to retrieve it. But when you delete the photo, the system doesn't remove the book from the library. It just erases the card catalog entry. The book is still sitting on the shelf. The system just forgot where it is. This matters because the space that photo takes up is still occupied. It's just marked as available to be overwritten. Your computer says, okay, that space is technically free, so if I need to save something new, I can put it there, but until something new gets saved there, the old photo is still completely intact. And here's the crazy part. Even after something new gets saved there, parts of the old photo might still be recoverable. It's like writing a new sentence on top of an old sentence in pencil. You can still see traces of what was underneath. This is why forensic investigators can recover deleted files from computers and phones. They're not magically undeleting things. They're just looking at the storage directly and finding all the data that's technically been deleted but is actually still sitting there waiting to be overwritten. And depending on how much you use your device, those deleted files could stay recoverable for days, weeks, or even months. But here's where it gets interesting. Modern phones add even more layers to this. When you delete a photo on your iPhone, it doesn't even pretend to remove it. It literally moves it to a recently deleted folder and tells you it'll stay there for 30 days. Apple isn't hiding this. They tell you right there in the folder. These items will be permanently deleted in 30 days. But most people delete something and never look at that folder again. They think it's gone. It's not. It's in the recently deleted folder, still taking up space, still visible to anyone who picks up your phone. And even after those 30 days, when your phone finally permanently deletes the photo, it's only deleting it from your phone. If you have iCloud Photos turned on, which most iPhone users do because Apple enables it by default, that photo is still on Apple's servers. You have to go into iCloud, find the recently deleted folder there, and delete it again. 2 separate deletions. And most people never do the second one. Now, this next pattern is particularly sneaky because it's designed to help you, but it actually works against you. Here's what I call the backup paradox. Cloud services automatically back up your photos to protect you from losing them. That's the whole point. You drop your phone in a lake, you get a new phone, you sign in, and boom, all your photos are back. Magic. But here's what nobody talks about. Those backup systems don't just save your current photos, they save every version of your photo library at different points in time. Think about Jake. Jake takes a bunch of photos at a party. Some of them are embarrassing. He deletes them immediately from his phone. He thinks he's being responsible. But Jake has Google Photos set to automatically back up everything. So those embarrassing photos got backed up to Google servers the moment he took them. When Jake deleted them from his phone, Google Photos moved them to its own trash folder. And Google keeps stuff in the trash for 60 days, not 30. So even though Jake deleted them immediately, they're still floating around in Google's cloud for 2 months. But wait, there's more. Google also might have already used those photos to train its image recognition AI. They're not storing the photos themselves for AI training, but they've extracted data from them. Face patterns, object recognition, scene understanding. That data doesn't get deleted when you delete the photo. It's aggregated with billions of other photos to improve Google's systems. The photo might eventually disappear, but the information extracted from it never does. Your brain thinks deletion is like erasing a whiteboard. You wipe it and the information is gone instantly and completely. But digital deletion is more like throwing a letter in your trash can. The letter is still in your house. It's still readable. It's still there until someone actually takes the trash out to the curb. And even then, if someone really wanted to, they could dig through the garbage truck and find it. That's closer to how digital deletion actually works. Here's what makes this even more surprising. Every time you edit a photo, your phone saves the original. You crop a photo, adjust the brightness, add a filter, your phone saves the edited version and the original unedited version. Why? Because Apple and Google want you to be able to undo your edits later. It's a feature, but it means every photo you've ever edited is actually 2 photos taking up space, and when you delete the edited photo, the original is still there, hidden in your library's metadata. You see this when you delete a selfie you edited to look better. You also see it when you delete a screenshot you annotated, and you especially see it when you delete a photo you cropped from a larger image. The full-size original is still on your device, even though you're only looking at the cropped version. Your phone is secretly hoarding every version of every photo you've ever touched. This connects to something even deeper. Here's what I call the permanence problem. The internet made us think everything is temporary. You post something, you can delete it later. You send a message, you can unsend it. You upload a photo, you can remove it, delete, delete, delete. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Nothing digital is actually temporary anymore. Everything you create, every photo you take, every file you save, it all leaves traces, multiple traces, in multiple locations. And those traces don't disappear just because you pressed a button labeled delete. Let me blow your mind for a second. When you delete a photo from your phone, here's everywhere that photo might still exist. It's in your recently deleted folder on your phone. It's in your recently deleted folder in iCloud or Google Photos. It's in your backup files if you back up to a computer. It's in any albums you added it to that sync across devices. It's in your Messages app if you texted it to someone. It's in any third-party apps you uploaded it to Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever. It's on the recipient's phone if you sent it to them. It's on their cloud backup. And it might be in any number of automatic backups that services make without telling you. What's actually happening is we're living in an era of accidental permanence. We think we're in control of our digital stuff because we can see it and delete it, but we're not seeing all of it. We're seeing one copy, maybe two if we're tech savvy, but there are dozens of copies scattered across devices and servers and backups, and deleting the copies we can see doesn't touch the copies we can't see. This isn't about tech companies being evil. Well, not entirely. It's about two things that happened simultaneously. Storage became incredibly cheap, so companies stopped actually deleting anything because why bother? And cloud services became the default, so everything you do on your device is automatically copied to someone else's server. These two trends combined mean that deletion, real, permanent, complete deletion, stopped being the default behavior. Companies optimized for never lose anything instead of actually remove things when asked. And users ended up with less control, not more. This is why when celebrities or politicians have old photos or messages leak, the first question is always, but they deleted those years ago. Yeah, they did. They deleted the copy they could see, but 7 other copies existed, and they didn't know about them or couldn't access them or couldn't delete them without jumping through technical hoops that nobody explained. Deletion became fake, but nobody told regular users that it was fake. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah's switching from iPhone to Android. She wants to make sure all her old iPhone photos are totally gone before she trades it in at the Apple Store. So she goes through and deletes everything, every photo, every video, every screenshot, empties the recently deleted folder, factory resets the phone. She thinks she's done. She thinks the phone is clean. But here's what Sarah doesn't realize. Factory reset doesn't actually erase the storage. It just deletes all the pointers and creates a new operating system. All her photos are still there in the raw storage, waiting to be overwritten. And trade-in phones don't get overwritten. They get refurbished and resold. Someone with basic data recovery tools could plug that phone in and pull off hundreds of Sarah's deleted photos. Not because Sarah did anything wrong, because delete doesn't mean what she thinks it means. Sarah also didn't realize that all her photos are still in iCloud. Deleting them from the phone didn't delete them from Apple's servers. She'd have to log into iCloud on a computer, go to the Photos app, check recently deleted there, and manually empty it. Then wait 30 more days for Apple to actually remove them from their servers. And even then, Apple probably keeps encrypted backups for some period of time that they don't disclose. Sarah thought she deleted her photos once. She actually needed to delete them 4 or 5 times from 4 or 5 different places. And even then, she can't be totally sure. Now compare that to Marcus. Marcus is also switching phones. But Marcus understands how deletion actually works. So before he does anything, Marcus goes into settings and turns off iCloud photos, waits for the sync to complete, then deletes photos from his phone, then goes to recently deleted and empties it immediately, then goes to iCloud on his computer and deletes photos there, empties that recently deleted folder too, then checks Google Photos because he used that for a while, deletes from there, then goes through his Messages app and manually deletes photos he sent to people, knowing that removes them from his device, but not from theirs. Then, before he factory resets the phone, Marcus uses a secure erase tool that overwrites the storage multiple times with random data. It takes 3 hours, but when it's done, those photos are actually gone. Not hidden, not waiting to be overwritten, actually erased. Then he factory resets, then he trades in the phone. Is Marcus paranoid? No. Marcus just understands the system. He knows that delete is a suggestion, not a command. He knows that his phone and the cloud services work against him, not for him, when it comes to actually removing data. So he compensates. Notice how Marcus isn't smarter or more technical than Sarah. He just has a different mental model. Sarah thinks her device works for her. Marcus knows his device works for Apple, and Apple's priorities don't always align with his. Sarah trusts the delete button. Marcus verifies the deletion actually happened. Same task, different understanding, totally different outcome. Here's what most people don't realize. Deletion isn't a technical problem. It's a design choice. Tech companies could make deletion actually delete things immediately and completely. The technology exists. Secure erase has been around for decades, but companies chose not to do it that way. They chose to make deletion slow, layered, and incomplete. They chose to prioritize never lose anything over remove things when I ask you to. And they made that choice without asking users what they wanted. It's not actually about understanding file systems or cloud infrastructure. Those things are complicated, but they're not the problem. The real issue is that the word delete has been redefined to mean something completely different from what users expect, and nobody told users about the redefinition. We're all walking around thinking delete means erase, when it actually means hide for a while, then maybe erase some copies, but not all of them. The word stayed the same, the meaning changed, and that gap between expectation and reality is where all the problems live. The people who successfully manage their digital privacy don't have special software or elite hacker skills. They understand that phones and cloud services are designed to never forget anything. They treat deletion as a multi-step process, not a one-click action. They verify that things are actually gone instead of assuming they are. They know which apps make copies and where those copies live. They don't trust the system to work the way it claims to work. They test it. So here's what we've uncovered. Your phone doesn't delete files when you press delete. It removes the pointer and marks the space as available. Modern phones add a recently deleted folder that keeps everything for 30 days. Cloud services keep their own separate copies with their own separate deletion schedules. Every edit you make creates a duplicate that sticks around. And all of this happens without clearly explaining to you what's actually happening. Remember the illusion of removal? Plus the backup paradox? This all connects to one big insight. Deletion is a performance. Your device pretends to remove things to make you feel in control, but it's actually hoarding everything because that's what it was designed to do. The question isn't whether you can actually delete something from your phone. You can, but it requires way more steps than pressing one button. The question is whether you'll verify that deletion actually happened. Because now you know that delete is just the start of a process, not the end. You can't unknow that. So next time you delete a photo, ask yourself this: am I actually removing this? Or am I just hiding it from myself while it lives on in 6 other places I don't know about? Because once you see how deletion really works, you realize your phone is basically a hoarder with a very convincing filing system. It never throws anything away. It just reorganizes its piles and tells you the space is clean. And the fact that we all trust this system without questioning it, that's the real magic trick.